Hi everyone, welcome to the studio. This is Lisa Marie. Remember, links are in the video description. Right away, I'm doing color swatches of markers and pencils I'll use to color in the full-size coloring page. You can see the small sample image I used to help me brainstorm hues. Today's color scheme is Tetradic, so the colors here will work within that scheme. This color planning page and the full-size coloring page are from my color scheme workshop, a PDF you can download today to master the 7 fundamental color schemes. And again, the link is in the video description. Also, the colors that I just wrote down are listed in the video description, so you don't have to read my sloppy writing. And that goal that I wrote down on the planning page was to play with color saturation. I'll explain that more in a moment. First of all, I put marker on the page. It's like a underpainting, helps me block out shadows, and helps make rich colors. I use Ohuhu markers because they're blendable and because I can color pencils over them. If you saw when I switched papers there, I do have a scrap paper underneath to catch any marker bleeding through, but this is fairly heavy paper, so it can hold a lot of marker and pencils. Okay, so today's focus is the Tetradic color scheme. That's when you use 4 colors that are equal distance apart on the color wheel. Tetrad means a group of 4. The colors I chose are green, red, blue, and orange. You can also call this a double complementary scheme because it has 2 sets of complementary colors, meaning colors that are opposite on the color wheel. It can be difficult to balance this color scheme because if you use all 4 colors equally, it can be overwhelming. I've found it works best to choose one color to be the dominant central color and make the other 3 subdued. Here, blue is taking center stage. This color scheme can take a bit of practice. It has a lot of individual colors that need to work together without being jarring. Matisse rocked the Tetradic color scheme in his painting Green Stripe. He used composition to separate the colors. And another color master who ruled the Tetradic color scheme was Monet. Here, he used violet, yellow, orange, and blue. With that log colored in, you can see the orange right next to the blue in the koala fur. Blue and orange are complementary colors. But the blue has more texture and is larger and more dominant visually. The other 2 complementary colors, green and red, will be side by side in the flowers. Also, if you don't want to download the entire coloring workshop, the link to this individual coloring page is in the video description. So you can simply download this page to color it. And you can see here, I'm just finishing up some of the red. And you can see I'm not fully filling in the colors here. I'm just doing a bit of outline because, again, I'm going to be playing with some color saturation in a moment. Now, I'm going to layer colored pencils over the marker. And I do this to help smooth color transitions, enhance texture, and further develop my colors. On the koala, I'll move the pencils with the fur lines to keep that fur texture and develop the sense of shading that I blocked out with the markers. I'm only using dark and light blue and then white pencil in the koala, keeping the color fairly straightforward while I do this color exercise. If you want to learn more about coloring grayscale or realism, you should go check out my other playlist, How to Color Like a Pro. That's where I talk more about coloring techniques. Here, my focus is color schemes and color theory. So, way back in the beginning, on the planning page, I wrote that I'd play with color saturation. I'm doing that now with the colored pencils. In the koala, flowers, and leaves, I allow the white of the paper to show. On the log, I colored it in completely with the markers. This will affect the color saturation when I color with the pencils. Also, I'll use a white pencil to affect color saturation even further. Color saturation is the intensity of a color showing how much the color is different from white. Changing the color saturation does not change the color scheme. It's still tetradic. But the lighter saturation can help make all these complementary colors a little less jarring, so the overall image will be easier on the eyes. There you can see the white pencil going right over the fully saturated orange log. In the flowers and leaves, you can really see how the color isn't as saturated. Between the lighter colored pencils, the white of the paper, and the white pencil that I will be using, I lightened the colors a lot. That softened them visually and allowed the strong blue to be the commanding color. You can see here I'm using a lighter pink over that rich red, and now the white pencil. So I've really desaturated the red in the flowers. But again, it's still a red hue. It's still in the tetradic color scheme. Finally, I add a touch of green in the background. There's no marker underlayer because I wanted this to be very soft. It's almost like a haze of green that helps balance out the colors and frame the image. You can see I hold my hand at times further away from the pencil tip, so I don't press too hard or go too dark with that background color. So again, another instance of a very soft, gentle, not exceptionally rich bit of color. And then I'll add some touches of white highlights with my paint marker because I can't resist a little detail work, and white does not detract from the tetradic color scheme. And it's just really, really fun to add the extra little details in the end. And that's it for today. Remember to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss my next video, and stay creative. Bye!